In this podcast, Gregory Clark discusses his research on the inheritance of social status based on a study of 425,000 people in England over 400 years. The study looks at how social status is inherited and reveals three interesting aspects. Firstly, there is a strong inheritance of status, much stronger than conventionally believed, with a very strong underlying correlation. Secondly, this correlation has not changed over the 400-year period, indicating no increase in social mobility. Lastly, the data suggests that genetic correlation is a strong predictor of how correlated people will be, indicating a model of genetic transmission as the main factor in determining social status inheritance. The study utilized genealogy records from societies in Britain, such as the Guild of One Name Studies, which have documented the history of particular surnames over hundreds of years. While there was no direct genetic evidence, the study looked at predictions of a genetic model of transmission based on how much genes individuals have in common. It also examined other features of inheritance of status, such as the influence of mothers and fathers, birth order, and family size, to understand the patterns of social status inheritance. The study found that mothers and fathers play an equal role in predicting children's outcomes, except for wealth, where fathers have a stronger influence due to wealth tending to flow on the paternal line. Birth order was also found to have no significant impact on social outcomes, with the exception of the top 1% of families where the oldest son had a slight advantage. Additionally, family size did not significantly influence social outcomes, except for wealth, where larger families from wealthy backgrounds saw a decline in wealth due to inheritance being divided among more children. The study also revealed that people tend to marry others of similar social status, with a strong correlation in marriage patterns observed in England and Sweden. This pattern has remained consistent over time and has implications for the slow rate of social mobility in these societies. The data suggests that people are matching up mainly based on their social status, leading to a persistence of social status across generations. This has led to the development of algorithms that could predict optimal matches for marriage based on social status and relatives information. The findings of the study challenge conventional beliefs about social mobility and the influence of education on social outcomes. It suggests that social policy focused on education as the key to social mobility may be misguided, as increased education has not shown significant improvements in income, longevity, or other social outcomes. The study also raises questions about the ideological unpopularity of genetic explanations for social status inheritance, as it implies a conservative social policy and raises concerns about the social implications of genetic transmission. The study also challenges the perception of the British society as uniquely class-ridden, as similar patterns of social status inheritance were observed in Sweden. It also highlights the universal tendency for individuals at the top of the social spectrum to move downwards over time, while those at the bottom have the most prospects for upwards mobility. The conversation highlights the challenges and controversies surrounding the study of genetics and social mobility. Clark shares his experience of being canceled at a university seminar due to the controversial nature of his research. He discusses the resistance and backlash he has faced from certain academic circles and the media, particularly regarding the study of genetics and its impact on social outcomes. The discussion touches on the gendered aspects of genetics and social mobility. Clark mentions a study that found physical attractiveness to be an independent predictor of intergenerational social mobility outcomes. He also discusses the differences in the reception of behavioral genetics and evolutionary psychology explanations among male and female professors, highlighting the gendered perspectives on these topics within academia. The conversation delves into the implications of genetics for personal success and individual agency. Clark acknowledges the challenges of reconciling the role of genetics with the idea of personal agency and meritocracy. He discusses the impact of genetics on individual outcomes and the difficulty of reconciling the role of genetics with personal efforts and achievements. Clark offers practical advice based on his research findings. He suggests that there is not a lot of evidence to support the idea that intensive parenting and efforts to determine a child's outcomes significantly impact social mobility. He encourages parents to relax and enjoy their children, emphasizing the limited impact of parenting on genetic predisposition and social outcomes.